Hi, my name is Kate and I'm a part of the customer success team here at Vevox. Today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and make a quiz. So to start off, you want to make sure that you are signed in to your Vevox account, and from there we're going to go ahead and create our session. So to do that, I'm just going to go up to the top right here and click create session, and then in the window that's popped up I'm just going to give my session a name and then hit create. So that has now bounced me straight into that session. You'll notice at the top that there's a black bar. This is telling me that my session is currently inactive and that I need to make it active before I want to start going through and presenting my quiz. Otherwise my participants will not be able to join in and participate. So I'm just going to go ahead and click start session now here, and that has started my session for me. So the next thing that you might want to think about is whether or not your quiz is going to be run identified or anonymous. So by default, all of Vevox's sessions are made anonymous. However, you might want to make it identified for your quiz. So for example, if you're wanting to see people's names on the leaderboard so that you could give a prize to the person in first place. So to toggle on your identification, what you would do is go over to your session settings, so go over to my navigation on the left hand side, click settings, and then in the window that opens I'm just going to go over to identification. Then in here I'm just going to toggle it from anonymous to identified. And then when I'm happy I would just click save at the bottom. But I'm not going to do that quite yet, as I'm also going to look at some other session settings while I'm in here. So first of all, I'm just going to pop on over to my features and scroll down to focus on my poll settings. So these are the settings that will apply to all of your polls within your session. So you have here things like you're displaying real-time results to begin with. So I would recommend keeping that toggled off for a quiz, as otherwise you'll get people being able to see what others are submitting and potentially copying that. I'm going to click on my result on poll close, and then I'm just going to come down a little bit further. So here, this is where I'm going to turn on my automatic countdown timer for each of my polls. So I'm just going to toggle that on, and then I'm going to change it to 15 seconds rather than 10. So that will now have the automatic countdown timer on every poll that I go through on my quiz. And then above that I'm just going to go ahead and look at my countdown timer music. So I can just click here to choose which music that I want to be playing. You can also click the play icon here to preview that music before you decide. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click this one for myself. And then lastly at the bottom we have our speed scoring. So this is something that we would definitely recommend you toggling on for your quiz. This is what stops people from coming in joint first and joint second, etc. So as well as ranking people on whether they got the question correct, it will also then rank them on the speed in which they got that answer. So as well as stopping people coming in joint first, it also just adds a little bit more of a competitive, fun edge to your quiz. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and toggle that on. And then I'm just going to come back up and look at a couple of more things. So first of all, I'm just going to go into my setup tab. So in here, I can choose a home screen image for my quiz. And I can also put in a description for my quiz here as well. So sort of this welcome message or agenda, depending on what you are doing. So this is what will show on your participants' devices when they sign into your session. And then I'm also just going to go across the theme to look at customizing my session that little bit further. So here is where I can change my logo. And I can also, by clicking custom, choose my own background image and colours for my present view. Or I can, on theme, choose one of these themes as well. So you can see we have lots of fun ones here to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one of these. And now that I've changed everything I want to within my session settings, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click save. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my quiz questions. So there are 3 ways in which I can go about doing this. First of all, I can scroll down here and I can look at our Vevox templates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perhaps look in my film and science quiz template, and then in the window that opens you can choose to select all of the questions and import them all straight into your session, or you can go through and select the ones that you like the sound of and import those into your session. The second way that you can add some quiz questions in to your session is come up to Create New, go to the arrow on the right hand side and go to AI Quiz. So this works with ChatGPT, and all you need to do is put in a prompt here and choose how many questions you want the AI bot to generate for you, and then hit generate. It will then make some questions up for you and pop those into your session. So this and our templates are a great way to get started when you potentially can't quite think of exactly what questions that you want to include. So they're a great way to get some inspiration, and also simply if you just don't have the time to go in and make all of the quiz questions yourself. The third option is of course coming up to Create New and making them from scratch yourself. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in to Create New, and you can see it has brought up this window for me. So first of all, what I want to do is come here and choose my question type. So 5 of these are ones that you can make into a quiz question, as they can be made to have a correct answer. So those 5 being multiple choice, text, ranking, numeric and pin on image. Now with Vevox quizzing, you can put in some non-quiz questions within your quiz questions. So for example, I could start off with a word cloud question as an icebreaker, go into a few of my quiz questions, and then perhaps put a rating scale halfway through, and then some more quiz questions. All it means is that when you go to your leaderboard, they of course won't contribute to the scores that people are accruing. So I'm going to go ahead and make my first quiz question, so I'm going to check with multiple choice, and then what I need to do is I just need to pop my question in here, and then down here this is where I'm going to put in my choices. So you can see as I am typing that it is bringing up the next line below for me to keep on filling in my choices here. So there you go, I have the essential bare bones of my quiz question. I have my title and my choices. The next step for me will be to allocate the correct answer and make it into that quiz question. So to do that, what I'm going to do is find my correct choice here. So in this instance it would be France. Go to the end of that line and tick the A with the tick. So once I click that, you can see it has highlighted there for me. And it's also brought up my correct answer explanation box at the bottom. So in here, as described, this is where you can put in a little explanation as to why that is the correct answer, and that will show on your present view as well as the participants' devices as well. So now that I have that, there's some other things that I might want to have a look at. So with my question and my correct answer explanation, I can actually now go in and add some rich text formatting if I would like to. So to do that, I would just click on the A at the end of the box, and you can see it now brings up these options for me. So with using this, I can go in and add things like bold and italics to my question, and I can also use line breaks as well. So this is a way of just potentially making your question even clearer to your audience and just improving the layout of it as you would like. Following on from that, I'm then going to decide to add an image to my question. So to do that, I've just got to click on the canvas icon to the right of my question, which will then bring up this window. Now from within this window, I can choose to upload an image from my computer. You can see I also have my recently uploaded ones here as well. Or I can toggle along to my image library up here. So this works with Unsplash, and what I can do is search for an image. So Eiffel Tower, find an image that I like and click on said image. Once you have done that, it will then bring up this for you. So this is the focus of your image, and it will also have the option to edit your alt text at the bottom. So all of the Unsplash images do carry across its own alt text, but you can go in and edit it. And also when you upload your own image, you will also still have the ability to change your alt text at the bottom here. So when I'm happy, I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then you can see it has popped that image into my question. So scrolling down, I also might decide that I want to add some images alongside my choices. So I would do that in the exact same way by clicking on the canvas image to the left, searching for what I would like to add, perhaps not choose one with the Eiffel Tower in it, click save, and it adds that to my choice. Okay, so now that I have my images as well next to my choices, I'm going to scroll down here. So a last couple of things to mention. So at the bottom of my poll creation, you can see that it is currently toggled to apply the default poll settings. So these are the settings that I made earlier from within my session settings, so the countdown timer being 15 seconds and turned on, and also my countdown music. But if I did want to change these settings for just this particular question, I can go in and choose to use custom settings for this poll. So if I can click that, you can see it brings up these settings again that we saw in our session settings, and I can go in and just change these. So if, for example, I'm aware that this is quite an easy question, I might want to go, actually, for this question, I don't want them to have 15 seconds, I want them to have 10. So I can just go in and change that as well. And then when I'm happy, I just hit create, and you can see it has bounced that question into my session. So now all you need to do is go ahead and repeat that to add all of your quiz questions. Okay, so when you have all of your quiz questions and are ready to go, what you'll want to do is head over to your present view. So to do that, you just come down here and hit present full screen, and you can see it then pops me straight in. I have my joining instructions on the left hand side, pointing my participants to join at vevox.app with that unique 9-digit ID, and also we have the QR code that people can scan as well to hop straight in. So when you feel that everyone is ready and joined your quiz, what you can do is just hit the big play button in the middle to get going. So once I've hit that, you can see that the countdown timer automatically started for me with that countdown timer music. You can see my joining instructions have also remained on the left hand side, and you can see that we have our participant counter in the top left. So that has automatically closed for me after 15 seconds. Okay, so after that 15 seconds, my poll has automatically closed for me and is showing me my results, so where people have placed a pin on this pin on image question. So you can see we have the dots here, and then I want to go ahead to my toolbar at the bottom and click the tick to show me my correct answer. So you can see now that it's brought up this pink circle on the image here. As the presenter, I can now click to zoom in and view it, and we can see that we have one person who has gotten that answer correct. On the right hand side, we have our little facts of information, so we've got our correct answer explanation, which is also appearing on the participants' devices, and we also have the correct respondents and the speed in which they answered. So we only have the one person that got this question correct, and it tells me that they answered it within 12 seconds. So then going forward, you would just repeat this with every quiz question that you want to go through. So to do that, you would just go and click next poll to open the next poll, and so on. Once you've gone through your quiz questions, you might want to bring up your leaderboard. So to do that, you come down to your toolbar at the bottom, go to the far left and click the little trophy to display your leaderboard. So this will then bring up your leaderboard on your present view and also on the participants' devices as well. So what we can see is that we have 3 people participating who have answered the questions, getting 2 correct, but we do still have separate positions due to the speed scoring, because we can also see that the top person has answered in 9 seconds on average, with this person below on 13. We also have our little bits of information on the right hand side with where's the most difficult question, and also the average answer time. If you are running this identified with more than 6 people, you might find that they don't all show on your leaderboard. But what you can do is just click full list here to then bring up all of the places of everyone who is participating. So that's it. That's how to get going with creating a quiz with Vevox. I hope you are now ready to go ahead and make one yourself. And if you do have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@vevox.com. We also have a fantastic help site, and we'd also encourage you to like and subscribe to our YouTube as well. Thank you very much.